Hey everybody, Tony George, DocSports.com. What'd you expect? What'd you expect? Have you met me? I'm a Lincoln, Nebraska / Kansas City boy. Have been my whole life. Grew up in Lincoln, supporting the Royals and Chiefs because they're 3 hours away. Then I lived there for 11 years, Kansas City. Come on. Chiefs Kingdom, rise up. Big game tonight with the Los Angeles Chargers. Now, I may say San Diego every now and then, just a force of habit after doing this 30 years, but the Los Angeles Chargers come in and invade Arrowhead Stadium tonight in a game on Amazon Prime. Now, sportsbooks worked out a deal, or sportsbooks and bars with DirecTV packages worked out a deal with Amazon so they can show it. So I'll be at the local watering hole. With basically surrounded by Raiders and Chargers fans. AFC West enemies. Yeah. I'm going to be in the minority. And I don't give a rat's ass. Come on. Now let's talk about this game a little bit. And before I get to that, real quickly, you're here to get free picks. I got 6 of them with Scott Spreitzer. Right here on this channel. Doc 6 and 6. That's live, taped live at the Red Rock Sportsbook Stations Casino. 3 college, 3 NFL picks. 6 of them. Tune in. It's right here. I mean, it's well worth the price of admission, which is free. For more free stuff. And we got a free $60 and a link in the description below, too. If you've never been a member of Doc's, we'll park $60 in your account. Now, tonight I'm not putting out this game. Our football card, all comes out today at 4 Central. College and pro, all the way through Monday Night Football. And we do have a 7-unit top play in college football. And the epic run dating back to last year, and then reconfirmed last week with the Tennessee Volunteers, is 15-3, with plays of 6 units or more in college football. And for those of you keeping score at home, that's 86% against the spread. And for you haters out there, it's frickin' documented. Come on. 63% last year in college football. Well, what, 6-2, 8-4 this year. I don't know what percentage that is, but it's over 63%. We're ready to go on a 4-pack, low volume, Sunday NFL as well. That being said, tonight I decided to go a different route, like I did on Monday Night Football. The best bet on the board was a player prop. Russell Wilson over 255 yards passing. He had 340. That was my bet for Monday Night Football. Stayed away from that crazy game. Tonight I have 2 prop bets in this game. I'm staying away from the side and total because it's too close to call. That being said, these two always have epic battles. You have 2 of the best quarterbacks in the NFL. You have 2 high-powered offenses. I wouldn't say you had 2 very good coaches. Andy Reid's a very good coach. I'm not so sure about San Diego's yet. And a couple of things are concerning about San Diego. They got gifted 4 turnovers last week and only managed to put up 25 points. And I don't think the Raiders' defense is all that. Now, Kansas City's defense always seems to be an enigma wrapped in a riddle, don't they? They play like dog crap all year long, and they get closer to the postseason, and all of a sudden Spagnuolo, he's got them playing like the 85 Bears. Well, not quite that good, but you get my drift. But they shut down Arizona last week. Now Arizona, a little bit injury riddled, very poorly coached by Kingsbury. I'm not a big Cliff Kingsbury fan. Not a good football. Might be a good coordinator. If once he loses his job, he'll be an OC somewhere. But I'm not sold on Kyler Murray. They paid him way too much money. But I do think if you take a look at the side here, I'll give you my power numbers. Kansas City is 10.2 and LA is 6.6. That's basically 4 points. Just a little under 4 points. 3.6 between them. Then what's Arrowhead Stadium worth? At least 3 points. So maybe you can find some value in the side with Kansas City. But the Chargers have covered 4 out of the last 5 against these guys. They split last year, including an overtime game. And this is going to be a slobber knocker. It's going to be a knockdown, drag-out football game where offenses are going to be on display. Now, I know the Chargers spent a lot of money in the offseason on their defense. You know, you got Khalil Mack in there now. You got Bosa, who you had. You've got good DBs or starting cornerbacks out, which could be a concern. But they spent a lot of money. And the reason they spent that money is they're trying to win a division crown. Because Kansas City's won 7 in a row and went to 4 AFC championships. And the Raiders, the Broncos, and the Chargers, look at the money they spent in the offseason in free agency and how they drafted. Because they try and beat Kansas City, win a division. Kansas City's on top of the mountain until somebody knocks them off. That's a fact. That's not a fan talking. That's just a fact. That being said, their defense is good. I don't think it's going to be that effective because Mahomes is so elusive. He has big numbers against him every time he plays them. You know? You're going to see a lot with those guys running around putting the heat on Mahomes, who's very elusive, who's quick, can get out of trouble. You over pursue him, he'll take off running down the field and kill you and move the chains on third downs. Herbert can kind of do the same thing. He's kind of a poor man's version of Josh Allen. Not as good as Josh, but he's got that ability. You'll see a lot of passes out of the backfield tonight. And Kansas City's got 3 running backs out in space that can kill you. You know, especially if you're over pursuing. Playing a deep zone defense. Going to get a lot of first downs, move the chains, a lot of yards. At the end of the day here, small. I'm talking don't stick this in a 14 parlay. Don't unload grandma's bonds on it. Okay? If you take a look at some numbers here, I'm just going to give you Kansas City numbers here. If you're a trend guy, you're going to like this. Number one is Kansas City after week 1 is the number 2 offense in the NFL in total yards, number 1 in pass yards, and number 11 in rush yards. They threw for 360 and ran for 128 against Phoenix on the road to open the season where you're supposed to be rusty and this, that, and the other. Number 1 in points scored, 44. The total's 54 here. And they're number 9 in defense. They only allowed 282 yards. But again, I'm not sold on Phoenix. But take a look at these numbers. The last 9 games the Kansas City Chiefs played in, they've won over 8 out of 9. They're 8-1. Their last 9 games is a favorite on the over. They're 7-1 with overs. Their last 8 games following a straight-up win. The over is 7-1 in Kansas City's last 8 against the AFC. And the over is 6-1 the Chiefs' last 7 games following an ATS win. These two split 1-1 on the over and under last year. Both of them high-scoring games. Small lean on the over. I think you're going to see an offensive showcase, and I think Kansas City's defense ain't all that. Even without Allen at wide receiver, which is a big hit for LA. I think this goes over. I think you have a nice, fun game to watch. And from a selfish fan perspective, go KC, baby. Come on. You know, stick that flag in the middle of Arrowhead Stadium and say, we're the best team in the AFC. Come on and bring it. That's what I'm hoping. Doc Sports doubleheader today on the prop card in this game. NFL props. We're 75% with them this year, and we're on a 7-2 run. With all props. You got a free prop today over at T. George Sports, a free Major League Baseball prop that was going to be a premium play, and the WNBA fresh off a 7-unit Game 2 winner. 4 units tonight in the WNBA. All football will be out at 4 o'clock, including a top play in college football and possibly a top play in the NFL. And as I told you, I had 3 guys on my NFL staff. Fired them all Monday morning. I'm going solo. These are my calls. I will get it done on Sunday. Get over to Doc's.